Right, good evening, everybody. To, yeah, Today's lesson is very, very important. This is a section that normally comes every year. Every year, definitely one question is given. Such lessons are very rare that every year giving a question, but this is a section that every year they are giving a question. So that's why I even kept a message that don't miss a lesson. And now today I'm using my headphones because there's a small construction work is going on. To avoid the unnecessary noises, I'm just using it okay. So then when I just go to the whiteboard, so because we have to use the whiteboard a lot today, you may see me as an alien because of this headphones and all. Never mind, so don't laugh at me then. So we'll start then. We finished up to what page? We finished up to this one. No, yeah, before making the clay pot. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Then maturity of usage of technology, water management we have to do today. So I told you that today we have to use a lot of whiteboard because uh, we have to use it a lot. I have to explain a lot and you have to get understand it a lot, otherwise you can't write answers. So here up to this we just did it. Here once again, see this slide and start. Okay, small video. So see the C10, just start.
වසර 2500ක් ඉක්මවන ප්‍රෞಢ ශිෂ්ටාචාරයකට අප උරුමකම් කියනවා. ඒ අතීතයේ අපේ රටේ ජීවනාලය වූයේ ජාතියට බත සැපීමට දායක වූ වාරි පද්ධතියයි. දුඹුරුවන්ව දිස්විය හැකිව තිබූ වියලි කලාපය නීල වර්ණයෙන් සහ කොළ පාටින් සිත්තම් කිරීමට එයට හැකි වුණා. අදටත් විශාල ජනතාවකට ජීවන මාර්ගයන් සපයමින් ග්‍රාමීය ජනතාවගේ ප්‍රධාන ජීවනාලිය වී ඇත්තේ මේ වාරි පද්ධතියයි. මධ්‍යම කඳුකරයකින් යුත් ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ භූමිය ක්‍රමයෙන් මුහුද දෙසට යන විට උසින් අඩුව පසුව තැන්නක් බවට පත්වෙනවා. මේ මධ්‍යම කඳුකරයෙන් ජනිතව දසාත විසිරෙන ගංගා 103කින් ශ්‍රී ලංකා දෙරණ පෝෂණය වෙනවා. මේ ගංගාවල පිහිටීම පාපැදි රෝධයක් අපට සිහිපත් කරනවා. මෝසම් දෙකක වැස්සෙන් මේ ගංගාවලට ජලය ලැබෙනවා. ඊසාන දෙසින් හමන ඊසාන දිග මෝසම් සුළං සැප්තැම්බර් සිට දෙසැම්බර් දක්වා මුළු දිවයිනටත්, නිරිත දිග දෙසින් හමන නිරිත දිග මෝසම් සුළං මැයි මාස සිට ජූලි දක්වා නිරිත දිග ආශ්‍රිත ප්‍රදේශවලටත් වැසි රැගෙන එනවා. වැසි ලැබෙන මෙම රටාව පදනම් කරගෙන රට තෙත් සහ වේලි වශයෙන් කලාප දෙකකට බෙදෙනවා. තෙත් කලාපයට වසරකට අඟල් 200ක පමණ වැසි ලැබෙන අතර වේලි කලාපයට ලැබුණේ අඟල් 40ක ප්‍රමාණයක වැසි. මේ හේතුව නිසා තෙත් කලාපය සදාහරිත වනාන්තරවල දක්නට ලැබෙන එකළඟ වැඩෙන විවිධ ශාකයන්ගෙන් යුක්ත වන නමුදු වේලි කලාපයේ දක්නට ලැබුණේ විසිරුණු ගස් සහ පඳුරු පමණයි. පාලනය වූ සීමිත ශාක වර්ධනය, වලාකුළු රහිත පැහැදිලි අහස නිසා ලැබෙන සරු හිරුවෙලියෙන් යුත් දිගු දිවා කාලය සහ සරු සංයුතයකින් යුත් පස ආදී නිසාම වේලි කලාපයේ ශාස්ත්‍රීය කෙත්වීමක්. වැසි අඩුවෙන් ලැබුණද නිරන්තර වැසි ලැබෙන තෙත් කලාපයට ඈත් කඳුකරේ සිට ගලන සරුසාර ගංගාද, ඊට අමතරව ඊසාන දිග වැසි වලින් ලැබෙන විශාල ජල ප්‍රමාණයක්ද වේලි කලාපය හරහා ගලා යනවා. ඉදින් ඒ දෙආකාරයෙන්ම ලැබෙන ජලය එක්රැස් කරගත් විට වේලි කාලයේදීද කෙත්බිම්වල භාවිතයට ගත හැකියි. මේ හේතු නිසාම වාරි ශිෂ්ටාචාරයක් ලෙස බොහෝ ඉතිහාසඥයන් හඳුන්වන අපේ පෞරාණික ශිෂ්ටාචාරයේ තොටිල්ල සහ නිවහන වූයේ මේ වේලි කලාපයයි. වාරි කර්මාන්තය ලොව මුලින්ම ආරම්භ කළ දේශයන් අතරින් එකක් ලෙස ශ්‍රී ලංකාව සැලකෙනවා. ලිඛිත ඉතිහාසයේ සඳහන් හඳුනාගත හැකි පැරණිම වැව ලෙස සැලකෙන්නේ ක්‍රිස්තුපූර්ව 5 වන සතවර්ෂයේදී කරවන ලදයි විශ්වාස කරන බසවක්කුළම වැවයි. මේ වැව ඉදිකිරීමට පදනම් කරගෙන ඇති තාක්ෂණය කෙතරම් සංකීර්ණදයක් ශ්‍රී ලාංකිකයන් විසින් ඉදිකරන ලද ප්‍රථම වැව මෙය විය නොහැකියයි සිතන තරම්. එක් ගම්දරව්වකට පමණක් සෑහෙන කුඩා වැව් පමණක් නොව විශාල වැව්, කුඩා වැව් සහ අමුණු එක්කොට සැදූ සංකීර්ණ වාරි පද්ධතිද මෙම වාරි ශිෂ්ටාචාරයට ඇතුළත් වුණා. වර්ග සැතපුම් 24000ක් පමණ වන වේලි කලාපය තුළ 30000ක් පමණ වැව් ඉදිකර තිබුණා. විශාල ගංගා නිම්නයක් යටතේ වැඩි බිම් ප්‍රමාණයක් වගා කළ හැකි මහා වැව්ද එවැනි වැව් සඳහා ජලය සපයන අන්තර්නිම්න ඇල මාර්ගද නිර්මාණය කර තිබුණා. වඩා පෝෂිත මහවැලි ගංගා නිම්නයේ සිට පෝෂණයෙන් අඩු පේරුවාරු ගංගා නිම්නයේ වෙත ජලය හැරවීමට ඉදි කළ මින්නේරිය කන්තලේ යෝධහැල මීට 1 නිදසුනක්. සැතපුම් 20ක දිගින් යුත් මෙම යෝධහැල මගින් තප්පරයකට ගණාඩි 2600ක ජල පරිමාවක් ගෙන යා හැකියි. අනුරාධපුර නගරයට ජලය සැපිය වූ තිසා වැවට කලාවැවේ සිට ජලය ගෙන යන කලාවැව යෝධහැලද ඉංජිනේරු ශිල්පයේ තවත් එවැනිම විස්කමක්. එය සැතපුම් 54ක් දිගින් යුක්තයි. මෙම ඇලේ මුල් සැතපුම් 17 කැන ඇත්තේ බැස්ම සැතපුම් 1ට අඟල් 6ක් වන ලෙසයි. ඒ බව කැනීම් කටයුතු කළ බ්‍රිතාන්‍ය ඉංජිනේරුවන් විසින් සඳහන් කර ඇත්තේ විශ්මය හඟවමින්. එය කලාවේ සිට මල්බතුවේ හරහා පැමිණීමේදී වෙනත් ගංගා නිම්න දෙකක් පසු කරන අතර ඒවායින්ද ජලය ලබා ගන්නවා. බිසෝ කොටුව සහ පිටවාන නිර්මාණය කර ගැනීම පැරණි වාරි කර්මාන්තයලා දියුණුවට ප්‍රධාන හේතුවක්. ක්‍රිස්තුපූර්ව 4 වන සියවසේදී අප මුතුන් මිත්තන් ඉදි කළ මේ බිසෝ කොටුව හා සමාන නිර්මාණයක් යුරෝපයන් විසින් යොදාගනු ලැබ ඇත්තේ 18 වන ශතවර්ෂයේ තරම් මෑත භාගයකදී. කලක් ලංකාවේ මිනුම් පතිදුරේ දැරූ බ්‍රෝහිය මහතා මේ විස්කම් නිර්මාණය ගැන මෙහෙම කියනවා. ගණයාර මිලියන 17 ඉක්මවන විශාල බැම්මක සාක්ෂි අපේ ඉදිරිපිට දැකිය හැකියි. මේ ඉදිකිරීම් වර්තමානයේ කළේ නම් ඒ සඳහා යන මුදලින් සැතපුම් 120ක් ඉක්මවන රේල් පාරක් ඉදි කළ හැකිව තිබේ. වත්මන් විශේෂඥයන් විසින් මේ බැම්බ සම්බන්ධයෙන් වැරදියයි අනුමාන කළ දේ පසු කලක එසේ නොවන බව අනාවරණය වූයේ වත්මන් තාක්ෂණයේ අඩුපාඩුද පෙන්වමිනි. මේ හා සංකීර්ණ වූ වාරි පද්ධතියක් ඉදිකිරීම පමණක් නොව මනා කළමනාකාරීත්වයකින් නඩත්තු කිරීමද විශ්මයජනකය. මේ නිර්මාණ පවත්වාගෙන යාමට හැකිවන්නට ඇත්තේ මේවා රැකබලා ගැනීමට හා නඩත්තු කිරීමට ඒවායින් ප්‍රතිලාභ ලබන ජනතාව රජු වෙත බැඳී සිටි නිසාය. සැලසුම් සහගත රාජකාරී ක්‍රමයක් පැවතීම මෙම මනා කළමනාකාරීත්වයට හේතුපාදක වූ බව වැව් ආශ්‍රිතව පිහිටා ඇති ශිලාලේඛන අපට පෙන්වා දෙනවා. බතලගොඩ ඇලහැර මිනිපේ සහ කොණ්ඩවටුවාන ආශ්‍රිත ශිලා ලිපි සහ ටැම් ලිපි මේ සඳහා අපට සාක්ෂි සපයන උදාහරණ කිහිපයක්. නයිපෙන සහිත මේ රූපය මෙම බොහෝ වැව්වල සොරව දොර අභියස තබා ඇත්තේ වැව රැක ගැනීම ඇති වැදගත්කම සංකේතවත් කිරීමට යයි විශ්වාසයක් පවතිනවා. ධාතුසේන රජතුමා විසින් ඉදිකරන ලද කලාවැව මහසෙන් රජතුමා විසින් කරවන ලදැයි සැලකෙන කන්තලේ සහ මින්නේරිය මහසෙන් රජතුමාගේ සොහිරියක වූ බිසෝ බණ්ඩාර විසින් කරවන ලදැයි කියන කවුඩුල්ල දෙවන අග්බෝ රජු විසින් කරවන ලද ගිරිතලේ සද්ධාතිස්ස රජතුමා විසින් ඉදිකළ පදවිය නාච්‍යදුව හා ඉපැරණි දිබතුළු වැව තෝපා වැව සහ එරමුතු වැව එක් කරමින් නිම කළ පරාක්‍රම සමුද්‍රය අදත් අප සතු ඇති ප්‍රෞඩ වාර්ශිෂ්ඨාචාරයේ උරුමය සංකේතවත් කරමින් ජාතියට බත සැපීමට ගොවියාට වාරි ජලය සපයා සිටිනවා. වාරි පහසුකම්
Okay, from there we'll see once again. From there we'll see once again after doing some part. Okay, because otherwise wasting time. I'm going to this whiteboard now. Uh, I think you can hear me. Yeah? Can you hear me? Because I'm using that.
And yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Right. Now we'll go to the whiteboard. Right. So then I told you that I'm using these headphones and you can see me like alien. I don't like to use this, but today I have to use it because of these construction works. Unnecessary noises may come. Right. So water management. So water management is one of the sections. I told you that every year they give you exactly one question. Very rare such sections, but here this is such a section. So here we have to take construction of irrigation system. So what is an irrigation system? An irrigation system is a collection of tanks and canals. Collection of tanks and canals. Okay. So now there are many types of canals, even big tanks, smaller tanks, and canals giving water to the tank, from the tank to the paddy fields. Different types of canals. So everything together we call as what? Irrigation. Irrigation system. Right. So now we'll take one. What is the first one we take? Tanks. Why tanks were constructed in the history? Why tanks were constructed in the history? The objectives of constructing tanks. So why tanks were constructed? There are three objectives why tanks were constructed. So related to this, a question can come in the exam. What were the objectives of constructing tanks, and explain the objectives giving examples. So one such example objective is that providing water for irrigation. Okay, sorry, agriculture. So providing water for agriculture is one reason. So why early rulers constructed tanks. Second objective was what? Controlling floods. Controlling floods. So to control floods also, that many tanks had been constructed. So I will be explaining here. Now providing water for agriculture, that we will take later on. How? By constructing a tank, a flood could be controlled. Now imagine that this is a river. So this is a river. So normally we know that river is flowing from an upper elevation to the lower elevation. And you imagine that like this, right? Okay, this river is flowing like this. Okay, here. So this is a kind of mountain. From the mountain, it comes, and like this to the flat land it comes. Now this is like this. Now here, now in this region, this river is flowing very slowly. It is flowing very slowly. So then at a kind of rainy situation, so at a rain, this area will be flooded. Flooded means huge volume of water is received to the this area of the river. That water should be taken through the river to the sea. If so, the space of the river is not enough to take that water, so it is overflowing. It is overflowing. So normally floods are there in flatlands. Floods are created in the flatlands. Why? When the river is very slowly moving, when the space of the river is not enough to take that water, huge amount of water. Now here in the rainy season, huge amount of water is flowing because no, it's not like the normal days. Now regularly when the rain comes to these highlands, this area is flooded. This area is flooded. Now how to control these floods? What do? They just use two hillocks like this, and they just block this river using a dam, constructing a dam. Now a dam had been constructed here. That means the water flow had been blocked. By blocking the water flow, what happened? Now here a tank had been created. Here a tank had been created. Okay, here a tank had been created. Why? Now these, now by blocking this, now by joining these two hillocks, a dam had been constructed, a blockade had been created for the river, and now this region is filled with water. This region is filled with water. So this is a tank. Now during the rainy period, you can fill this tank. During the rainy period, you can fill this tank and store excess water here. So now what happens? Once again, here this area will not be flooded after that. So flooding had been controlled. So flooding had been controlled by constructing this tank. So to control floods, they have to construct the tank across the river. By constructing a dam across the river, they have to construct this tank. Then during the rainy period, this is filled and excess water is stored here. At any time they can take this water for paddy fields, for agricultural activity. So that's what controlling floods. The third objective of constructing tanks is what? To fulfill the urban needs. The urban needs. So what do you mean by that? There are people living in cities. They have daily water needs like washing, bathing, cooking. So to fulfill those needs for the people living in cities, because that's now even that we are giving that tap lines, the water supply, the water board, they are providing water. So like that in early cities also, they have to supply water for the, to fulfill the needs of the urban people. So some tanks had been constructed to fulfill the urban needs. So we will write this question later on. Now, what is the question that can be given? Explain the three objectives of tanks, constructing tanks, giving examples. So then you have to give examples. What were the tanks constructed in cities to provide water to fulfill the urban needs? What were the tanks constructed by the kings to provide water for agriculture? What were the tanks constructed for controlling floods? If you are not giving examples, you are not given marks. Right? Now these are the three objectives of constructing tanks. Understood? Or any question? No question? Pasundu and Yenuka were in the waiting room while I was explaining. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, Pasundu and Yenuka were in the waiting room while I was explaining. Could you get it, or were you away from the class until now? Okay, right. So if I try to explain it once again, it takes time, no? So the best thing, if you came to the class later on by becoming late, so just ask from me the recording. I'll be handing you the recording, right? No, today class recording I'll be sending to the group, uh, and you have to refer it because you know that this is very important. So once again, just yeah, never mind. I'll be uploading the recording. Everyone once again go through it and get a clear understanding. This is as I told you, this is one of the major sections, important sections. Without the clear understanding, you cannot write answers, right? Okay, I'm not going back to explain this once again because it wastes the time and the data of the people who joined early. So what I do, I'll be sending you the recording, right? So then refer it once again. Those people who came late also, they have to refer exactly, right? Okay, we'll write now. We'll write this one, right? Right here. Before making what is this? Water management. Reasons for a need of water management. Objectives. The three objectives you can write and highlight because it's in red color. Making agricultural activities successful, controlling floods, and meeting the needs of the urban people. Where you are writing, here you are writing. Reasons for the need of a water management. So this is a big question, okay? That question we will write at the end of today's class. Okay, finished writing. So I was waiting for someone to join. Just now he was asking for the link. Okay, never mind. Now we'll see what in the tute. Right, now see here the main factors that had been considered when constructing a tank. What were the main factors that had been considered when constructing a tank? Especially the early engineers have considered three main factors when constructing a tank. So what were the main three factors that they have considered when constructing tanks? One, a suitable place to construct the tank. Selecting a suitable place. Now when I tell suitable place, now there must be hillocks to join and construct the tank. Then this area what is collected now? How was the ground here? Now if it is absorbing more water to the ground, that place is not good for constructing the tank because you can't fill this because more absorption power. That means more penetration. So the groundwater meets the surface water goes and meets the groundwater. So you can't feel this because penetration power is high and no hillocks, and there must be a rocky surface as the foundation for this tank bund. So finding a suitable place is very important. It must be located in a kind of higher elevation, otherwise you can't take water out to take to the paddy fields from the tank. Okay, so then the finding a suitable place is very important. Finding a suitable place is very important to make a tank. Second one is what? When you construct this tank, the what is the first requirement to check when constructing tanks? Finding a suitable place to construct the tank. Second one, when you fill this tank with water, a huge amount of water is here. A huge amount of water is collected. How to control now? When we know that when you take a kind of water container and make some of the holes like this, make some of the holes like this, through this hole, that to a higher, to a longer distance the water goes. Here longer distance, here shorter than that, here shorter than that. What do you mean by that? That means when you go down in water, according to the height, the pressure goes up. When you go down, pressure goes up in water. So in science, this equation is there now. This equation, what? P is equal to H rho G. H is the height, rho means the density of water, G means gravitational pull. So according to this, H goes up, P goes up, pressure goes up. So here, when you gather a huge amount of water inside this tank, what would happen? Here, there's a huge pressure. There's a huge pressure. So how to control this the very high pressure and keep this water for a long time? So keeping water for a long time, that's a challenge. Now, the first challenge experienced by the constructors was what? How to find out a suitable place to construct the tank. There must be hillocks to join and construct the dam. The bottom must be having less penetration. That means if it is having high penetration, all the surface water goes sinks and join with the underground water. And even there must be a rocky surface as the foundation to construct this tank part. The second challenge was a huge volume of water is collected here. How to control that pressure created by huge volume of water and keep that water for a long time in this tank. So a tank is constructed to keep or store water for a long time to be used during the dry period. Third one, how to control that pressure and distribute water to these paddy fields. Distributing water, so distributing water is also another that challenge. So these were the three challenges faced by whom? The early constructed. Okay, right. Now we are writing that one. Until that, you have to uh, see this video once again. I'm going to the video once again and you have to see the other half. Okay, right, we will see that one once again, the other half of the video, okay, that you have seen.
වූ බිසෝ බණ්ඩාර විසින් කරවන ලදයි කියන කවුඩුල්ල දෙවන අග්බෝ රජු විසින් කරවන ලද ගිරිතලේ සද්ධාතිස්ස රජතුමා විසින් ඉදිකළ පදවිය නාච්‍යදුව හා ඉපැරණි දිබතුළු වැව, තෝපා වැව සහ එරමුදු වැව එක් කරමින් නිම කළ පරාක්‍රම සමුද්‍රය. අදත් අප සතු ඇති ප්‍රෞಢ වාර ශිෂ්ටාචාරයේ උරුමය සංකේතවත් කරමින් ජාතියට බත සැපීමට ගොවියාට වාරි ජලය සපයා සිටිනවා. වාරි පහසුකම් සැලසීම රාජ්‍ය නායකයා ලෙස තමන් ඉටු කළ යුතු යුතුකමක් පමණක් නොව පූජනීය කර්තව්‍යයක් ලෙස අතීත රජකවරු සැලකුවා. මහා පරාක්‍රම බාහු රජතුමා වැඩිම වැව් ගණනක් ඉදිකළ රජු ලෙස ඉතිහාසගත වෙනවා. මිහිතලේ මතට වැටෙන එක් දිය බිඳුවකුදු ප්‍රයෝජනයට නොගෙන මහ මුහුදට ගලා බැසීමට ඉඩ නොදිය යුතු බව කියා සිටීමෙන් නොනැවතී එය සාක්ෂාත් කර ගැනීමට හැකි සෑම දෙයක්ම කිරීමට රජතුමා ඉදිරිපත් වුණා. ග්‍රාමීය වැව් 2376ක්ද, විශාල ජලාශය 163ක්ද, ඇලමාර්ග 3910ක්ද ඉති කළ එතුමන් එවකට පැවති වැව් බැමි 165ක් ප්‍රතිසංස්කරණය කොට ශක්තිමත් කිරීමට කටයුතු කළා. ගඩොලින් සහ ගලින් නිම වූ මහල් ප්‍රාසාද, පොකුණු වලින් සැරසුණු අලංකාර උද්‍යාන, විශාල බෙහෙර විහාර, සියුම් කැටයම් සහිත බුද්ධ ප්‍රතිමා, ආහාරයෙන් ස්වයංපෝෂිත වූ දේශයක ශ්‍රී විභූතිය විදහා පෙන්වන සාක්ෂි ලෙසට අදටත් ඉතිරිව පවතිනවා. 12 වන සතවර්ෂයෙන් පසු විශාල වාලි කර්මාන්ත ඇති වූ බවට සාක්ෂි නැහැ. විටින් විට රටපෙළු විශේෂයෙන් ඉන්දියාවේ විවිධ පළාත් වලින් පැමිණි සතුරු ආක්‍රමණ හේතු කොටගෙනද 1505න් පසුව සිදු වූ බටහිර ජාතීන්ගේ ආක්‍රමණයන් හේතු කොටගෙනද වාරි කර්මාන්තයට හානි පැමිණුණා. ශ්‍රී ලාංකික ජනතාව ඔවුන්ගේ කුඳුනාරටිය වූ වාරි ශිෂ්ටාචාරයට පහර දීමෙන් දුර්වල කළ හැකියයි ආක්‍රමණිකයෝ විශ්වාස කළා. පෘතුගීසි සමයේදී වාරි කර්මාන්තයේ දියුණුව පිළිබඳව කිසි සටහනක් නැහැ. ලන්දේසීන් කලක් ගත වීමෙන් පසු වාරි කර්මාන්තය පිළිබඳ තරමක උනන්දුවක් දැක්වූ බව නැගෙනහිර සහ මුහුදුබඩ ප්‍රදේශවල ඔවුන් සිදු කර ඇති ප්‍රතිසංස්කරණ කටයුතු වලින් පෙනී යනවා. කිරමොය ව්‍යාපාරය ඉදිකිරීම, යෝධවැව ප්‍රතිසංස්කරණ ආදියට ඔවුන්ගේ දායකත්වය ලැබුණා. සැලැස්මක් සහිතව වාරි මාර්ග ක්ෂේත්‍රයට අනුග්‍රහය දැක්වීමට ඉදිරිපත් වූයේ බ්‍රිතාන්‍ය පාලකයන්. එයද ඔවුන් මේ රට යටත් කොටගෙන සියවසක් පමණ ගතවීමෙන් පසුවයි. විශේෂයෙන් 1848 කැරැල්ලෙන් පසුව වාරි කර්මාන්තය තවදුරටත් අතහැර දමා තිබීම සුවදායක නොවන බව ඕනට තේරුම් ගියා. මේ ස්වයං අවබෝධය පිළිබඳ අතීත සටහනක් ජොන් කින් නම් බ්‍රිතාන්‍ය රජයේ උපදේශකයා 1905 දී ලියා තිබෙනවා. ඔහුට අනුව බ්‍රිතාන්‍ය පාලනයේ මුල් අර්ධ ශතකයේ වාරි කර්මාන්තය පිළිබඳ ඉතිහාසය යුග දෙකකින් යුක්ත වෙනවා. මුල් යුගය වගකීම් පැහැරහැරීම පිළිබඳ යුගය ලෙසද, දෙවැන්න නොදැනුවත්කමින් කරන ලද අධෛර්යමත් කිරීම පිළිබඳ යුගයක් ලෙස ඔහු දක්වනවා. ඉංග්‍රීසින් විසින් ඇති කළ වැවිලි කර්මාන්තයට ගෙන වූ විදේශීය කම්කරුවන්ට ආහාර සැපීම සඳහා වාරි ආශ්‍රිත කෘෂි කර්මාන්තයේ අවසි බව බ්‍රිතාන්‍යයට තේරුම් ගියා. වාරි කර්මාන්තයේ මූලිකව ගොඩනැගී තිබූ ග්‍රාම්‍ය ආර්ථිකය හා ජන ජීවිතය අඩාල වීමට තමන්ද වගකිව යුතු බව ඔවුන් වටහා ගත්තා. මුලින්ම ග්‍රාමීය වැව් ප්‍රතිසංස්කරණයට මූලික තැනක් ලැබුණා. ඉන් අනතුරුව නටබුන්ව ගොස් තිබූ වාරි පද්ධති පිළිබඳ ක්‍රමවත් අධ්‍යයනයක් කිරීමට ආරම්භුණා. එක්දහස් 855-64 සර් හෙන්රි වෝඩ් ආණ්ඩුකාරවරයාගේ යුගයේ මහජන වැඩ දෙපාර්තමේන්තුව පිහිටුවා ඒ යටතට පැරණි වාරික්‍රම ප්‍රතිසංස්කරණය බහර වුණා. අතීත රජවරුන් විසින් නිර්මාණය කරන ලද විශ්මයජනක වාරික්‍රම හා ඒ පිටුපස තිබූ වටිනා තාක්ෂණය පිළිබඳ කරුණු සොයා බැලීමට ඔවුන් උත්සුක වුණා. ආරෙල් බ්‍රෝහිය, හෙන්රි පාකර්, ජෝන් කීන් වැනි විද්වතුන් විසින් මේ සොයා ගැනීම් ලේඛනගත කොට තිබෙනවා. පැරණි රජදරුවන් නිදි කළ සමහර ජලාශවල ජලය කෙලින්ම කුඹුරුවලට නිකුත් කළේ නැහැ. සොරුවෙන් ජලය මුදාහරිනු ලබන්නේ ගඟටමයි. ගඟේ පහළ ස්ථානයක ඇති අමුණකින් මේ ජලය කුඹුරුවලට ගෙන යනවා. මේ සැකසීමට හේතුව අමුණින් ඉහළ කුඹුරු නැතිවීමයි. අපේ මුතුන් මිත්තන්ගේ විශේෂඥ දැනුම මෙයින් ප්‍රකට වනවා. පළමුවන වාරිමාර්ග ආඥා පනත 1856 දී නීතිගත කෙරුණා.
අසව් ශ්‍රී බුද්ධ වර්ෂ 2532 වෙන්නේ බිනර මස පුර
අතීත රජවරුන් විසින් පනවන ලද වාරිමාර්ග ආඥා බ්‍රිතාන්‍ය කිරුළ යටතේ නැවත නීතිගත කිරීම මෙයින් අපේක්ෂා කෙරුණා. 1887 දී පළාත් වාරිමාර්ග මණ්ඩල දිස්ත්‍රික් මට්ටමින් ඇති කර මහජන වැඩ දෙපාර්තමේන්තුව සිදු කළ වාරිමාර්ග ප්‍රතිසංස්කරණ කටයුතු ඊට පැවරුණා. ග්‍රාමීය මට්ටමේදී වතුර බෙදා හැරීම සහ නඩත්තු කටයුතු සිදු කරන ලද්දේ දෙසාපතිගේ අධීක්ෂණය යටතේ කටයුතු කළ ගම්මුලා දෑනියා විසිනි. රටපුරා බලපෑත්වෙන ප්‍රතිපත්තිමය කරුණු ආණ්ඩුකාරවරයාගේ සහභාගීත්වයෙන් පැවති මධ්‍යම වාරිමාර්ග මණ්ඩලය විසින් තීරණය කෙරුණා. 1818 කැරැල්ලේදී බ්‍රිතාන්‍ය විසින් සිතාමතාම විනාශ කරන ලද වාරි කර්මාන්තය නැවත ඔවුන් විසින්ම ගොඩනගනු ලැබුවා. ජන ජීවිතයේ නව පුනර්ජීවයක් මේ සමග ඇති වුණා. සියවස් ගණනක් තුල ඉදිකිරි කාලයේ වැලිතලයේ සැඟවී ගිය ව්‍යාපාර නැවතෙම වැලි ගසා දමමින් නැගිටිමින් සිටියා. මේ පුනර්ජීවය තවදුරටත් තීව්‍ර කරමින් ඉදිරියට ගෙන යාම සඳහා බ්‍රිතාන්‍ය පාලකයන් විසින් 1900 දී වාරිමාර්ග දෙපාර්තමේන්තුව පිහිටවනු ලැබුවා.
Right. Now we'll come to this one. Main factors that had been considered when making tanks. So you can write those three factors. Selecting a proper place to construct the tank pond, especially a place with natural rock as a base. Any question? Yeah. Now I explained here three challenges faced by these early engineers. Now Chamika, your question, how they face this, overcome these challenges. Yes, that is what we are going to learn now. I'm taking one by one these challenges and showing you how the components of tanks had been constructed to overcome the challenges. Got it now? So first we'll write these challenges, then one by one we have to explain how they have overcome that. Understood? So that is the second question that can be given. So I have shown you the first question that can be given. I told you that this section is coming every year. One question is coming out of these two questions that can be given. So I gave you the first question. What was the first question? First question was, what were the objectives of constructing tanks, and explain the objectives giving examples. That answer we will write today at the end of the class. Then the second question that can be given through this section is what were the challenges faced by early engineers when constructing a tank, and give explain how the components of tanks helped in overcoming those challenges. Understood now? So that is the second question. So that question we will discuss. We will discuss that question. Right? Okay. Now first you write these three challenges faced by them. Then we will take one by one the components, and then we'll see how these components of tanks help to overcome them. Now everyone understood what I tell? So still you can't write anything because we have started this one to to get the knowledge of constructing early tanks. Ne? Okay, right.
Sir, in the tube, what's the place we should write this?
Very good. So here this is the place. Uh, Page number 2, the main factors that had been considered when constructing tanks. So Himas, did you get the tute? If not, please write the notes there. Somewhere I will be sending you the tute. Okay. So I that's why I told you don't miss this lesson because this is very important. Uh, every year they are giving one question. Wording may be different, but the same question is given. The same possible two questions. Out of these two possible questions, one will be coming. So after writing, please let me know, otherwise wasting time. Okay. Yeah, I think everyone completed writing this one. Selecting a proper place to construct the tank bund, especially a place with natural rock as a base. How to control the destructive pressure created by huge volume of water gathered and keeping water for a long time. How to control pressure caused by its colossal capacity of gathered water and water when water is taken out of use. Out of use, no. Out for use. This one out for use. Huh? This must be out for use, not off. Change it, out for use. Right. Now we'll go to what? The next one. Here you see tank buns. Okay, tank buns. So tank buns identifying a place. Right, tank buns and identifying a place. Your two joined just now. Please let get me the from me the recordings, okay? Because you missed a great portion of the lesson, right? Very important lesson and very important section we are discussing. So please get the recording, okay, and listen to it. Right. So, what are the things that have been considered when constructing the tank bund? Okay, right. Now, once again, I'm going to this whiteboard. So, this headphones is a kind of disturbance for me. But I told you that today we have some unnecessary noises hereby. So, to avoid that, only I'm just using this one. Uh, okay. So, now see how a tank had been constructed. Now, I'll be just drawing here some of the right how that a tank had been constructed. Now this is the level of the surface of the ground. Now is it that we constructed the tank by digging the ground like this? Okay. Oh, uh, now what is your idea? Construction of tank in this way. That means construction of tank by digging the ground. Is it the way that we did here now filling water? Are you agree with that? Would you agree with that? By digging the ground? Anyone agreeing or not agreeing? Chamika says no. What is the idea of others when constructing tanks? No. Okay. So many says no. Yeah, actually no. Why? When we dig the ground like this and collect water like this, how to take water? Can't take water. We cannot take water. Why? Then you have to put motors or the pumps to take water out. No? This is the wrong method. Then how the tanks were constructed? Tanks were constructed in this way. So this is the surface of the ground, the higher elevation and lower elevation. So like that, no, normally the ground is there. You can't find the ground like the horizontal. There's an elevation like this. According to the gradient of the ground, so we have to construct a tank bund. So this is the tank bund. So we construct a tank bund, right? After constructing the tank bund, this area will be filled with water. This area will be filled with water. So this is a tank. Now easily you can take water out from here. So that's a tank. What would you do? According to the gradient of the land, you just construct the tank bund. Then here the water is collected. So then this is a tank. Now tank bund. We can make a tank bund in this method also. Now see, this is a tank bund. Okay, so this is a tank bund. Here water is collected. Number one. Even we can construct the tank bund in this way also. Like this. Here the water. This is the tank bund. Second. And even we can construct the tank bund in this way also. Like this. This is water and this is the tank bund. 3. And 4, can you see here? Yes, 4. Even you can construct the tank bund in this way. So this is a tank bund and here gathering water. Number 5, this one. This one. Okay, so this is the tank bund. Here you can gather water. Right. Now according to your idea, one the means not the tank bund, Chamika. I will come to that one. According to your idea, which one is the correct tank bund? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? You can give your answers through message. 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Chamika says 5. Azhar says 5. Yasiru says 5. Okay, 3 people says 5. What is the difference between 4 and 5? The difference between 4 and 5 is here you can see this side is having a slight gradient and this side is having a less gradient, and this side is having a low gradient and this side is having a less gradient. Still you are telling 5? Still you are telling 5 or changing the decision? No. Confirm. Good. So you are correct. So this is how the tank bund should be constructed. Why? The base must be wider. The base must be wider, then only it is stable. Here what happens? The base and the top is equal size. This can be fallen because there's a high pressure from this side. So this cannot bear the pressure, so this can be fallen. This one also the same thing may happen. This is also not stable. This one is stable, but the thing is when you have a gradient like this here, the amount of water that can be collected here becomes less. So this side high gradient, this side less gradient. So this is the correct cross section of a tank bund. I think now you got it. Okay. Then what were the factors they considered when they were constructing this tank bund? First thing, there must be a very good base for here, a foundation. Those days there was no cement, they could not lay a foundation. So what they have used this as the foundation, a rocky bed. Rocky bed. So the rocky bed is the foundation. So that is one thing. They have to find a place with a rocky bed as a strong foundation, otherwise this will be destroyed. The second thing, how to construct this tank bund. To construct this tank bund, there should be two or more hillocks on either side, joining that also only that they construct this. Otherwise, it's not stronger. It is not stronger. To give the support, to give the strong strength, there must be hillocks to join. Joining hillocks only they constructed the tank bund. So that is the second need. So they have to find a rocky surface and two hillocks to join, two or more hillocks. If there are more hillocks to join, that's very good. So even they can just find another hillock from here and here. They construct the tank bund in a curved way. Okay, so that's the second thing.
What mean hillock?
Yeah, hillock means a small mountain, like so, not very high, like 50 60 meters high, small mountain, like those things they are joining, so they are naturally located, so they can get the support from them when filling. Now this is the space between these two mountains, like 50 60 feet high. If there's a rocky surface here and a small river flowing, like so, then they can fill this gap with soil and make the earthen dam. So then these two hillocks give us support for this tank bund. I think you got it. Okay, right. Now what is the next thing? These were the factors that they considered. Construct the tank bund on a naturally established rock, the rocky surface. Taking steps needed to prevent the tank bund from sinking when it is constructed. For preventing sinking is done by the naturally established rock. After finding such a rock located between two natural hills, the tank band was built connecting the hills from either side. Now understood or not? Understood?
Understood.
Very good. Okay, now we'll write that. Yeah, we'll write that one. If you have any question, you have to ask, because I told you that very nicely you have to understand. Identifying a place. Okay, identifying a place. Right. So this is what you have to write there. Identifying a place. This one. Selecting a place. Let me know after writing, okay? So you have to highlight because in red color means highlight. So I'll be sending the recording to the group. Everyone once again have to refer the recording, okay? Referring recording for 2 times is important for this lesson, this part of the lesson, okay? Yeah. Right. If there are no hillocks, there are some places where there are no hillocks to join. So then, how did they construct these tanks? Now, as an example, Mana region. In Mana region, do they have any hillocks to join? No. In such instances, this is the method that they have adopted. Now, see here, if there's no any hillocks to join, according to the gradient of the land, they have constructed curved dams, long curved dams. By constructing long curved dams, they could store water here according to the gradient, like in a tank, like so. This is like a pond, no? According to the gradient of the land only, they have constructed this long curved dam. So one example is Yod Vav at Mana. Yod Vav at Mana. So that's an MCQ. So they may ask, what's the tank bund constructed without natural hillocks to join? Yod Vav. See, when there are no ridges, the tank bund has been constructed as a curve. The tank bund is so longer than tank bund of Yoda. Here you see, here this is the tank bund of Yoda, a long curved dam, 7 kilometers. See, no hillocks to join. Okay, these are small. Now this is a map actually. This is Mana, that Talai Mana. So this is a map like. So these are the small tanks, and all these small tanks they store water and give water to this Yoda. And this is now, see, this is the dam, long curved dam of Yoda. Is it clear now? According to the gradient of land, like a pond, it had been constructed. So this part of Sri Lanka is here. I think it's clear for you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's an MCQ. Okay, so they're asking, what is the example for a tank bund which had been constructed without joining hillocks? According to the gradient of the land, constructing long curved dams. Example, the tank bund of Yodava at Mena. Right. Why such stronger tank bunds had been constructed to overcome the second challenge? I gave you a challenge, three challenges. Now once again go back and see the second challenge. How to control the destructive pressure created by huge volume of water gathered in the tank and keeping that water for a long time. Now see, a strong tank bud had been constructed on a naturally located rock, joining two or more hillocks from either side to control the destructive pressure created by the huge volume of water stored in the tank. Now, I told you, no, they will give you a question. What? Explain how. Now, what are the challenges faced by early tank constructors and explain with examples related to the components of tank how they have overcome those challenges. So, second challenge you have to explain using the tank bund. So, tank bund was something that they have constructed to overcome the second challenge. I think actually writing these answers is difficult, so that's why I'm giving two model answers for two questions. Okay, right. Now see here, when there are no ridges, you wrote. To make a strong tank once they have used a number of soil layers. That means what? Not only here, making this tank bund like this. You know this is a tank bund. Okay, so this is a tank bund, right? Constructed. So this side water, this is the tank bed. So then a huge pressure is coming from here. And when making this one, different soil layers they are placing one on another, one on another. So this may be soil. Then using elephants, this soil layer had been trampled. Why? At that time, no machinery. Only the animals were there. So animals they are trampling this one. Okay. So then pressurizing. So heavy animals. This is a mud layer. Mud layer. Why putting mud layer? When you keep some small legged animals like buffaloes and goats, then when they are walking on mud, these even mud goes into small pores here and it is compacted once again. You can't pressurize using the small legged animal, but okay, compacting. So this is a stone layer, big stones, little bit, and this is a gravel layer. Okay, so gravel means small stones. Once again, a kirimati layer. Kirimati means what? That white color mati, white color clay. When kirimati becomes dry, it becomes very strong. Not like the other clay. That kirimati, that clay becomes dried and very strong. So like the different layers you can see by putting different layers and by pressurizing with different types of animals, they have made this very compact. Why? To to prevent the to protect the destructive power, that the pressure created, to control the destructive pressure created by huge volume of water gathered inside the tank. Okay, right. So we'll write that one then. We'll write that one here. To make strong tank bunds, the tank bund had been constructed of several soil layers. It had been made of several thoroughly beaten layers such as a layer of clay, soil, gravel and clay kirimati. In ancient time, animals may have been used to do so. Elephants were used to beat soil layers. So here we have a lot of drawings also, right? uh, you have to draw them with looking at my whiteboard. So after writing this, let me know that finished, then we can go for this drawing. And drawing is there.
Finish writing, sir.
Okay, now we have to draw this one. Yeah, this one. Okay, so here this is a cross section of a tank bund. Soil
Sir,
layer. Yeah,
where to go?
there's a space, I think. Okay, in the tube. We'll
Okay,
see. We'll see whether there's a space. Yes, here. Okay, there's a space. Don't draw this. So clay layer, stone layer, soil layer, gravel layer, kirimati layer. Yeah, I was talking with muting my mic, uh, so that once again I will tell you this one. Gajanan is asking whether you have to draw anything in the exam. No, no drawing. Only you have to write only. Okay. Ralapanava, Salapanava. That we have to know what Ralapanava, Salapanava is. Now I'm going to sums. Now see here. So this is how a tank can be seen from top. A tank can be seen from top. Now see, this is the tank bund. See, the tank bund is here. So in different components in the tank bund is here. We are going to learn that. So this is the tank, the water area. Okay, right? So now we'll see what they are. So now I'm going to Ralapanava. So what is Ralapanava? Now see here. This is a tank bund. This is the tank. This is the gradient of the land. Settlements, paddy track. See, a tank bund is in this way. See, this is the bund. This is the tank. Forest. Tawula means the area where that border margin is here. Okay, so we'll learn one by one the parts. Okay, right. Ralapanava, Salapanava, riprap wave breaker in English. This is a structure that is built to prevent the harm of eroding the tank bund due to the power caused by water waves. Now see the whiteboard. Now see here. Always water waves are coming here. So now this is earthen, no, clay, mud. So this surface will become eroded. This surface will become eroded. To prevent eroding this surface, they just cover the surface with a rock surface. That means they are putting rocks here. Putting rocks. So then covering the surface with stones, a stone layer. So placing a stone layer on the inner surface of the dam. So this is known as what? Ralapanava. Ralapanava or Ralapannuma or Salapanava. Any name you can use. Ralapanava, Salapanava, Ralapannuma. Okay, now I think you understood what Ralapanava is. Now we'll write that one here. It is a gravel layer placed in the inner surface of the dam. Function, very important function, protecting the tank bund from the waves of water in the tank. Protecting the tank bund from the waves of the water in the tank. Now we'll see once again a small video and we'll write the answer for one question. You and me together we will write answer for one question after writing this. So we have to go slowly this section, we can't rush. The tank bund is washed away by the waves of water. Now when muddy surface is always touching a water surface, what happened? That muddy surface is washed away, no? To prevent that tank bund washed away by the waves of water only, this Ralapanava or Salapanava is placed. Understood, Chamika?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we'll go to this video and see it first and then we'll go to the question. Huh? This one. Now this is about the components of tanks. So you just see it. Okay. the components of tanks, right?
වැවක් යනු ජලය ගබඩා කරන ස්ථානයක් ලෙස බැලූ බැල්මට දිස්වනද ඒ අත්‍යවශ්‍ය අංග රැසකින් සමන්විත විස්මිත නිර්මාණයකි. එම අංගවලින් වැවට මෙන්ම වැව් ජලයටද සිදුවන මෙහෙය විස්මය ජනකය. වෑකන්ද යනු වැව් කණ්ඩියයි. වැවෙහි තැන්පත් ජලය රඳා සිරින්නේ මෙම වෑකන්ද හෙවත් වැව් බැම්මයි. බිසෝ කොටුව යනු වැවක ඇති අංගාතර අති විශේෂ වූත් ප්‍රධාන වූත් අංගයකි. එය දක්නට ඇත්තේ විශාල වැව්වලය. බිස්ස යනු යමක් තැන්පත් කරන අංගයක් හඳුන්වන වචනයකි. ඒ අනුව ජලය තැන්පත් වන ස්ථානය බිස්ස වන අතර කොටුවක හැඩේ ඇති හෙයින් එය බිසෝ කොටුව ලෙස හඳුන්වයි. විශාල වැව්වල ජල ප්‍රවාහය සොරව්ව හරහා වේගයෙන් පිටතට ගලායාමේදී වැව් බැම්මට ඇතිවන පීඩනය අවම කිරීම මෙහි කාර්යභාරයයි. මඩසොරව්ව පිටවානට පාලින් පිහිටා ඇති අතර ජලපතුලේ එක් රැස් වන කිවුල ආදී බැරලෝහ පිටතට ගෙන යන්නේ මඩසොරව්ව තුලිනි. මෙමගින් බැරලෝහ මිශ්‍ර ජලය වගා බිම්වලට ගලායාම වැළකේ. කට්ටකඩුව යනු බැරලෝහ වර්ග වැඩි වශයෙන් අවශෝෂණය කරන ශාක වර්ග වැඩුණු ස්ථානයකි. වැටකේ කුඹුක් දං වල්බෙලි වේවැල් ආදී විශේෂ ශාකවලින් මෙය පිරී පවතී. විශාල වැව් ආශ්‍රිතව අක්කර ගණනක භූමි ප්‍රදේශයක් පුරා පැතිර පවතින ශාකවලින් ගහන වන ප්‍රදේශය ගස් මණ්ඩිය හෙවත් ගස් ගොම්මන ලෙස හැඳින්වේ. මහා වැව පෝෂණය වන උල්පත් සහ කුඩා වැව් මෙම ප්‍රදේශයේ පිරී පවතී. මීට අමතරව තවත් සුවිශේෂී අංග රැසකින් වැව සැකසේ තිබේ. මෙම වාරි තාක්ෂණය පිළිබඳව බටහිර විද්වතුන්ද විස්මය පළ කර ඇති අතර මෙවැනි දියුණු වැව් තාක්ෂණයක් ලොව කිසිදු රටකින් වාර්තාවී නැතිවීමෙන් තහවුරු වන්නේ අප සතුව අතිශය දියුණු තාක්ෂණයක් පැවති බව නොවේද?
ගම්මැද්ද ගමින් ගමට.
Now we had to write one question's answer. We'll take the first question, okay? Here, two parts I am writing the answer with you. The one part I am keeping for you to write. That's good now. So then with now last time I have seen the answers you have sent for me for the that essay type question that I have given for the test. Yenuka had got the highest mark. Am I correct, Yenuka? 6 out of 6. Tell me whether am I correct? Yes, Yanuka got the highest mark, 6 out of 6. Very good answer, right? So that is the answer that I expect. And Charmika got 5, and Mahendran got 5, and as I remember, then who is the other? Nisid got 5, Pasindu got 5, I think, okay, and Sanjay also 5. All the others like 5. Yasiru has written only 1/2, I think, and Anjalika got 4. Yes, so that means getting a 4 out of 6 is good actually. That's good. Yeah, okay. But two people are there that I gave some comments to improve your writing. Maybe one is Angelika, the other one is I can't remember the name. So for them, they have to their writing is good, but they have to organize the answer. Organization of the answer is not good. So organization means after writing headings, you have to write that answer, okay? So now we'll take this question like this. We'll take here. Now this is the question. So now you write the question. Is the question. So in the question write a book. Explain the objectives of making tanks. So you are writing a very good way when compared to grade 11. Okay, so but keep on that goodness. Okay, uh, giving examples. So that is the difficult thing, giving examples, how to give examples. So that is the problem. Okay, the first heading, for the first heading, one first objective. So now out of these three objectives, for you to write, what can I keep? Agricultural activity is easy for you to write, no? So I will write the other two, meeting the needs of the urban people and controlling floods. You write this one. So I told you that two I am writing, one you are writing. Okay, right. So now I am taking the this one. How about the okay, give me an idea. What should I keep for you to write? Giving examples out of these three. For you to write easily, out of these three, what majorities will we take? Everyone give me idea. First one is good. Okay, Chamika says. How about the others? Majorities will. Nisit says first one good. Yeah, Yasiru also says first. Himas first. Kenuli first. Okay, that means now majority. Okay, that means you can write the first one. Okay, right. So now I am taking controlling floods and meeting the needs of the urban people. Okay, so first one, number one, meeting the needs of urban people. Early cities. Okay, anywhere you can write this. Okay, this answer, but I would like if you are keeping a separate book for writing questions and answers. But now for the moment, anywhere you write. Okay, were,
Okay.
yeah, comprised of more than 35,000 people living in them. Those citizens living in cities were having a lot of water needs like bathing, washing, and cooking. In order to fulfill those water requirements, yeah, one thing that I have seen in the answer of Angelica, she has written an introduction. No need. Don't write any introduction. Introduction is not needed. So you just write the heading and start and write the answer. And I think Yasiro someone had written only one under one heading, and another mistake I have seen in another one, that not mentioning the headings properly. Okay, washing and cooking in order to fulfill those water requirements. Rulers have constructed tanks inside the cities. Not only that, not only that, some rulers have constructed tanks in cities in order to make the cities beautiful. As well, cities like Anuradhapura and Polonnaruwa were located in the dry zone, and they were having a dry climate. So that those tanks became important to cool the cities. So I have to give the examples, right? Examples are needed. Hmm. Kamini Weber constructed by King Pandukabir, presently known as Basavakulama Weber, and Tisa Weber constructed by King Devanam Piyatissa were examples for such tanks. Tanks. Yeah, this much is not needed actually. Now see, this is too much, like, okay, because yeah, because we are writing under three headings. Uh, but if you're writing under two headings, like this much is needed. Okay, completed writing. First slide. Anyone want to once again see first slide? No, no need now. I think you also wrote with me, along with me. Yeah, if we are writing under three headings, how many lines do we want to write? Yeah, under one heading, like 8 lines or 10 lines, 8 to 10 lines. But if you're writing under two headings, 12 to 15 lines enough. Want, okay. Giving examples is very important. For giving examples, they will give you marks, even though they mention to give or not. Complete writing this slide. So one wanted to go back to the early slide.
Finish writing.
Okay, so then the first slide, one wanted to once again see it. So I'm then going to the second heading then. What is the second heading? Controlling flood. Remember, clearly in a separate line you write the heading, okay? I have seen in some answers, early answers, you are writing the heading and there only you are starting writing. No, don't write. Because writing headings is important, for that also they give you marks. So this one also will write, and then the third one I am keeping for you to write, okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. During the rainy period, lowland with plains are flooded. That's because of the excess water flowing through the rivers. The only solution that early people used in controlling such floods was that constructing large tank bunds across the rivers, joining hillocks, joining hillocks to store excess water flowing in the river during rainy season so that they could store wa- water needed for agricultural activities in the dry period in those large tanks. So if you have less information also, just try to stick your answers, right? One of the examples for a tank constructed to control floods was Kala River, constructed by King Dhatu Sena. I'm taking to the other one, okay? After constructing a tank in a higher elevation to the floodplain, it could be safeguarded from flooding. Okay, this was enough. If anyone could not write what is in the early one, just tell me. Okay, so anyone, if you want to write the early slide, you can just ask me to write if you could not write. So otherwise, the class is over from here. We just learned a very small portion because I told you that we have to go very slowly. Otherwise, you can't get a clear understanding and write answers correctly, right? So never mind. So I think you got it clearly. This section exactly one question is given from this section. Okay, okay. Right. So then Pasindu wants to see the early slide. I'm just showing the early slide here. Okay. So then others can just leave. And this is the end of the class. We'll meet next time then. God bless everyone. Good evening and have a nice week.
Thank you,
God bless
sir.
you.
God bless you,
Okay.
sir.
Good evening,
God
Okay.
sir.
bless you, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Sir,
Yes, us.
sir, I had sent you the last uh, question. It is not the unit test paper question. It is the question that sir gave uh, before it briefly explained the economic structures in early Sri Lanka under three headings.
Yeah. So then yeah, did you send me the other one also?
Yes, I resend it
Ah,
again.
okay. I will check it and give you marks. Okay. So because it could not be
Okay, sir.
downloaded, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
Sir,
I will say yeah. To now I will be sending you. Okay.
so shall I leave?
Yeah. Okay. You can leave now.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. God bless.
excuse me, sir.
Yeah, Chamika, tell.
Do you want to send our answers to you, sir?
Yeah. Yeah. I could not just tell me. Yeah. It's better to send me answers. Then I will check it.
Okay, sir. God
Okay.
bless you, sir. Thank
God
you,
bless.
sir.
God bless. God bless.